The father of convicted school shooter Ethan Crumbley is expected back in court tomorrow morning. Now, James Crumbley is charged with involuntary manslaughter after his son killed 4 students and injured 11 others inside of Michigan's Oxford High School in 2021. Prosecutors claim Crumbley failed to properly respond to his son's declining mental health leading up to that attack. And just last month, the shooter's mother, Jennifer Crumbley, was convicted on similar charges, laying the groundwork for James's prosecution. And during her trial, Jennifer pointed the finger at her husband, saying he's responsible for buying their son that 9mm handgun that was used in that deadly day. Joining us now is attorney Ben Johnson and Meghan Gregory, mother of an Oxford High student who survived that terrifying attack. Thank you both. And Meghan in particular, it's good to see you again. Your story is still on my heart after the last time we spoke. And Meghan, we'll start with you. What do you want to see happen with the father, James? What does justice look like?
I want to see him be held accountable for sure. Whatever the maximum they give or can give, I hope it happens. Every time new things come out in court, I think all of us are sort of mind blown hearing how bad it truly was and how their parenting was just not up to par at that time.
Yeah. Ben, I want your legal perspective here, because during her trial last month, Jennifer Crumbley really placed the blame on her husband. She claimed that Crumbley was the one who bought the gun, who mishandled it. Do you think a jury will believe the narrative that one parent may hold more blame than the other?
Well, I think what we're going to find out is that they're going to blame both parents, because they were certainly pretty equal participants in ignoring the calls for help. And if you will, anybody that has a child, your heart goes out, even though this person ended up doing something horrible. It's like he was trying to get the attention of his parents, and when he needed them the most, they split. And buying a gun doesn't make up for it, and calling it your Christmas present.
Meghan, we know that the school called that meeting with the family on the day of the shooting, hours before it happened, and that Jennifer and James Crumbley declined to pull their son out of school despite these very disturbing images discovered by teachers. Do you believe that the school also holds any responsibility for the 4 deaths?
I do believe that the school holds quite a bit of responsibility. When we found out that things were happening the year before, and the counselor was asked to talk to him numerous times, and that was never taken seriously. His scores were never taken seriously. I mean, he was obviously a threat, whether it was to himself or others. Something needed to be done, and it was not.
Then on Friday, before the weekend, jurors heard this 911 call that was placed by the father, James Crumbley, in the immediate aftermath of the attack, warning police that his son could be the Oxford shooter. What implications could this call have in this trial?
Well, I think it's huge. Obviously, the state of mind of James Crumbley was, oh my God, I think it's my kid that's the shooter. Well, why did you think that? And why do you think that the gun's gone? Why did you call the police and say, I think he might have the gun? You were just in the principal's office just about 2 hours, not even a full 2 hours before. Why didn't you or Mrs. Crumbley mention that you just bought a semi-automatic firearm for Christmas for your kid? And Mrs. Crumbley took him to the shooting range to practice not even 2 days before. Obviously, important information to share, and absolutely should have taken their kid out of that school and taken him to an emergency room and have an immediate psychiatric evaluation.
I appreciate those details. And Meghan, I have to ask you, I cannot imagine what it has been like to watch these 2 trials, how triggering, how hard it must be for you and your family and other families while you're all trying to heal from what happened. I do want to point out that Keegan, your son, is alive today, reportedly thanks to the actions of one of the victims. Briefly, can you tell us what you understand happened that day and your message for the family of the boy who protected your son?
Yeah, when they were in the bathroom together, Justin had put Keegan in the stall with him and had him get up on the toilet to hide his feet. And then he stood behind the partition. And there were a lot of things Justin did in terms of helping Keegan out, you know, making a plan to run. The minute we have a chance, we want to get out of here. We've got to make a break. putting his phone on camera to see if his feet were under there, just really life-saving things that I think put Keegan in the right frame of mind. And I mean, I'm close with their family and they know how I feel. I can't, thank them enough for raising a child that would put someone else before themselves in such a horrible situation. I mean, we can't thank them enough.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.